Hello and welcome back to G Spot. So glad you're here. I'm your host Gigi, and today's topic is entitled Boys to Men. Do you remember where you stopped growing? At what point in your life did you get stunned, stumped, or stifled? What event or trauma in your life stopped you from moving forward and growing? Hurt and loss can prevent us from having a full and satisfying life. Maybe you were teased or bullied when you were younger. Perhaps you experienced loneliness or never felt accepted by your family or peers. Your ability to love, accept, and form relationships becomes impaired and self-development gets stunted. You no longer feel that you can relate to others in a real way and are the odd man out. Is there a part of yourself that you've put on the back burner for far too long and now you don't know how to start? Does any of this sound familiar? Our memories have a strong influence in how we mature and transition from children into adults. Often we don't realize we haven't matured on a personal level until we are made aware of it through social interactions and personal relationships. A startling realization is that trauma can leave you with the mindset of the age where the offense took place. For example, if the experience happened in adolescence, early childhood, or even early adulthood, your mind may choose to stop growing right at that moment to protect you from feeling that pain again. The transition from boyhood to manhood is often stalled by arrested development, caused by unresolved trauma. Men, I know that the pressures of society and the expectations and personal struggle can also stall your maturity in the form of emotional regulation and responsibility. It can also be that you were neglected or had an overprotective parenting. Unfortunately, this ends up discouraging innate masculinity and encouraging arrested adolescence. This can cause a barrier to maintaining healthy adult relationships or making critical life decisions. Another reason for arrested development is a result of excessive maternal influence. There's a term for it. It's enmeshment, or can also be considered overparenting as well. This can lead to men having a lack of emotional and functional independence. This dynamic frequently creates a quote-unquote big little man syndrome, where a man appears adult but remains emotionally tethered to his mother's approval or care. It causes stifled independence. Overprotective mothering shields sons from challenges, preventing them from developing the confidence to handle adversity. As an adult, you can struggle to make decisions without your maternal input or expect partners to solve your problems. It also causes emotional dysregulation because when your mom swoops in to manage your discomfort, you never learn to self-soothe. It can lead to emotional numbness where you shut down during stress or hostility and you suppress feelings and erupt in anger. It also causes identity issues. When you have an enmeshed relationship, you feel responsible for your mother's happiness. It's called emotional parentification. It prevents you from forming an authentic, strong identity separate from her expectations. And this is very damaging. This also causes difficulty with boundaries. When you're raised by an overbearing mother, there's often poor family boundaries. So struggling to say no or separate your needs from those of others becomes an issue. Or you're constantly seeking approval. You can also develop a constant need for praise and validation. You're also always performing bare minimum tasks because you've been conditioned to receive excessive admiration from your mother. Deception is also another form of enmeshment. It becomes a survival mechanism. You learn it in childhood to avoid disappointing a controlling mother or to protect a private inner world. And when it comes to your romantic relationships, you start to have competing loyalties. Enmeshed men often feel that there is a constant competition with the mother for attention and priority. You start replicating dynamics. Subconsciously, you seek out partners who replicate the controlling or overly nurturing role of your mother, reinforcing a cycle of dependence. It causes intimacy issues. That's where avoidant attachment comes from. You push partners away as soon as emotional intimacy deepens to protect your autonomy and self agency from further engulfment. Unfortunately, it can also be a double edged sword because you also develop a familiarity with those negative feelings. You start to normalize them, feel that this is all you deserve and the way you should be treated. When these experiences happen, toxicity, isolation, and a lack of self worth, amongst other negative emotions and feelings, begin. It compounds when the parents or caretakers in our lives aren't aware of the issue, or worse, when they are aware but fail to tell you it's not your fault. When a protector doesn't address a bad actor's behavior on your behalf, it creates another wound that makes those negative emotions and feelings even more true. Many of us go through life with these unresolved wounds that destroys lives. What or whom is constantly shaping and defining who you are, the beliefs that you have, and the decisions that you make? Always consider the source, whether personal, political, or familial. If you fall for everything, you stand for nothing. Do you ever take a moment to consider your impact on the person next to you or the world at large? As men, you must always be accountable and responsible for your impact and the outcomes you create. Let's take a walk down memory lane together. I know this may be a painful exercise, but maybe we can unlock and let go of some thoughts, feelings, or bad habits that negatively affect your life. Who hurt you? Was it a family member, friends, lovers, girlfriends, or a spouse? Do these hurts keep repeating and your reaction is still the same pattern, as it always has been? Then you're ignoring the real symptom of a bigger issue, and it will keep playing out over and over again until you address it. The players and scenarios may change, but the result is the same because you are the common denominator. We're letting these past experiences and traumas rob us of our joy, peace, and progress. They're left making you feel bitter, angry, and unfeeling. You aren't functioning to full capacity or expanding your capacity for relationship. Instead, you end up in dysfunction, chaos, confusion, and trauma. It's time to confront those wounds and make a consistent effort to be accountable and make a permanent change. And it may be a long and arduous road trip, but one worth taking. Let's take a look at intrinsic versus extrinsic value. Intrinsic value. The relationship and the person are valued in themselves. The motivation is the connection itself, love, closeness, and support. This fosters resilience, making the relationship more stable and fulfilling over the long term. Real value comes from within. It isn't always going to be easy and requires doing the work. It is even driven by shared values and emotional intimacy. It promotes reciprocity and equality, where both partners feel a connection with one another, rather than monetary rewards or material things. These relationships are an end in themselves, driven by internal satisfaction and a genuine enjoyment and companionship. It builds closeness and trust. You can foster this in your relationship through self-disclosure and vulnerability, allowing your partner to feel secure and accepted. It shows care and support, which in turn is good for you and your partner's physical and mental health. It creates a sense of balance, where both partners feel respected and avoiding a one-sided dynamic. Now let's talk about extrinsic value. This is a means to an end. Your value lies in external rewards or benefits it provides. For example, that would include financial resources, social status, physical attractiveness, or personal security. While these elements can enhance a relationship, focusing solely on them can lead to dissatisfaction because the gratification is often fleeting and dependent on external circumstances. Satisfying relationships tend to be those in which partners hold intrinsic values and help each other pursue those values, making external factors seem less essential to overall happiness. Action without strategy is just defeat. I heard a very brilliant man say, God makes you take the stairs and the devil sends a limo. If no one's told you lately, I want to let you know that you are loved, wanted, and needed. Keep striving and thriving to do and be better because you make a difference in this world. There is no me without you and no you without me. Remember, you are not alone as long as I'm holding this microphone. So open up to me. As always, I look forward to your comments. Please like, subscribe, and share this episode. I hope this has been helpful to you. As always, I look forward to your comments. Please like, subscribe, and share this episode. I hope this has been helpful to you.